Everybody, Chris Porter here at the Florida Times Union Building, where we have our weekly meeting with our Frisco Sports High School guru, Justin Barney. JB, week 6 came and went. We're focusing on week 7, but before we look ahead, let's take a look back. We had some nice matchups on the docket last week, and let's start with Bishop Kenny and Ponte Vedra. Ponte Vedra bouncing back.
Yeah, a game I saw go in a completely different way. Ponte Vedra lost the week before to Menendez, a little surprising there, 15-14. They're trying to run out the clock and ended up losing a fumble, and Menendez wound up winning that game. You thought going into this game, Bishop Kenny had the upper hand. They played fantastic defensively all season. I think they allowed 27 points all season, 4 games going into that Ponte Vedra game. Did not work out in BK's favor. Ponte Vedra came out on fire, really kind of flipped the script on Bishop Kenny. And if you don't know what's ahead, Trinity and Christian and Bowles remain on the schedule for both of those teams, so it was vastly important for whoever won that game going forward. Had the feel of a playoff game. Ponte Vedra took that first step forward in District 4 5A.
And speaking of Trinity Christian, last week they went up to Lake City to play in our week 6 game of the week. They were taking on a Columbia team they blew out last year, 34-0. Before the game, Verlin Dormady told me this Columbia team is good, and they proved it.
Last week you get a false sense of confidence at how good, maybe how bad Trinity was, or how bad Columbia was last year, in the sense you say 34-0, wow, they must not be that good. But Columbia was a very good team last year. That game was a very weird game last year, rescheduled due to hurricanes. I played on, I believe, on a Saturday at noon, so a little misleading in that 34-0 blowout last year. This year, more of a true indication of how good both of these teams are, and I think Columbia held court, coming off 2 back-to-back losses against Lee and Madison County on a short week. And although Trinity was without Tyreek Johnson, he's serving a 2-game suspension for targeting, getting tossed out the game the week before.
Wow. And then finally, the streak has finally come to an end. The Stanton Blue Devils went into last week's game against Swanee unbeaten. They left with the first dip.
You think in the halftime of that game, if you feel, if you're a believer in Stanton, you had to feel very good at halftime of the game. 9-7, they were holding the bigger program, legitimate program in Swanee in check. And then after halftime, I think Swanee's depth and experience really kind of helped them pull away. They were losing 9-7 at half. They ended up flipping the script in that second half, 31-9. So Swanee gets out on the right foot in District 3 5A play. And, Stanton, that was a district game for Stanton. A great start for them. 4-0 start, but they're now 0-1 in district play. They got a difficult schedule coming up. They got Ribault coming up in a couple weeks. That's a challenging one. But for Stanton, they have never won more than 4 games in a season since they became Stanton College Prep and restarted that football program in the late 90s. So one more win by Stanton. At some point this season, they've got a few games they could win. Will put Stanton in uncharted territory and qualify them for a bowl game should they choose to play in it.
Still a lot for the Blue Devils to play for. Don't forget to vote in our Week 7 Sideline 2017 Game of the Week poll. For JB, I'm Chris Porter. I'll see you tonight at 11.